joined by our guests this afternoon. We have Binay Singh, who's a political analyst, and also Tausif Ahmed, who's a lawyer and a political analyst. Tausif, to you first. As public servants as well as leaders of their own parties, isn't it the responsibility of leaders like Asaduddin Owaisi and Akhilesh Yadav to maintain a certain kind of decorum when a court's order comes out instead of instigating and provoking? And that's why a petition has been filed now.
No one has a right to instigate or provoke, sentiments. And we have seen right from before the independence of our country, we have seen it is the Sangh Parivar, it is the RSS, it is the BJP affiliate, Bajrang Dal and VHP who do all this petty stuff because it helps their politics, and they know nothing else. Instead of doing a clean politics, they do this kind of dirty politics. So
you're firing and doing the cover-up at the same time. Binay Singh ji, if you want to respond to that, because straight away, as far as the Muslim side is concerned, they want the entire dismissal of the petitions, but the Hindu side is saying that the matter will sustain. It is not a property dispute. It is regarding our right to worship.
My dear friend on the screen, he is a lawyer. And Asaduddin Owaisi, he's a lawyer too. But they don't believe in the law. They are lawyers. Those who don't believe in the Indian Constitution, they don't believe in the courts. Look, my dear friend, when the courts step in, the politics must go out. And as a lawyer, you are the custodian of the law. You must try to protect the law. And in your statement, I don't see any respect for the lawyer, any respect for the Indian Constitution. So once the court is in a single line, you must admit, you must say, you must conclude that yes, what the court will decide, we will abide by that. Your but and if, there is no end to that. There is no end to that. So you are trying to say that our organization, the RSS, is trying to influence the courts? The courts are being decided, the judgment of the courts have been decided by RSS.
What I said.
And if someone else would have said so, it won't be a surprise for me. But you are a lawyer. Asaduddin Owaisi, he is also a lawyer. A very lawyer.
And Tausif, would you respond to that? Because Asaduddin Owaisi has not just spoken about the issue as a whole, but also what the court's verdict has been and questioned all of that, which can also be stated as a contempt of court.
See, I don't hold a brief for Asaduddin Owaisi, yet I will say that it was not Asaduddin Owaisi who leaked the videograph or the visit, under the order of the court. Who was the person responsible for that, and who started this social media propaganda that there is a shivling, worthy of worshipping? I mean, you have to first find out whether it's a cement.
But let the court decide first. The hearing to commence at any moment. Harish, if you can just give us those live updates, because we are looking at petitions that has been filed against certain politicians and their comments that has been made in a way also to try to vitiate the atmosphere. So just over to you for those live updates, Harish.
Yes, that's right. Any moment from now, the petition will be taken up by the criminal court. Actions have been sought against, strict action has been sought against Asaduddin Owaisi, the AMM leader, and Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav for inciting passions, promoting and also attempt to trigger communal violence in Varanasi, create problems within two communities. So this particular lawyer has sought action against them, and this very significantly comes at a time when another court, district judge of Varanasi, is all set to pronounce orders on a slew of petitions, whether he will be hearing first the maintainability suit, or whether he will be taking up the advocate commissioner's report, and a plea by the Hindu side to seeking access to the 1,500 photos and 10-hour-long video, and also plea for permission to pray, worship at the shivling, which was recorded at the Vazu Khana. So two parallel proceedings will be happening in the Varanasi court. One at the criminal court, where action is sought against Owaisi and Akhilesh Yadav, and another court in district judge court, where the court is expected to pronounce orders on a slew of petitions.
And Harish, even as we are waiting for that court's order and the hearing to begin anytime now, Asaduddin Owaisi has once again come out with a fresh attack against the BJP through a tweet this time where he says with 2 consecutive electoral majorities, this isn't about distracting voters from the state of the economy or noise to garner support for election. This is part of their core ideological belief, he says. And once again, bringing our guest, Binay Singh, how would you respond to that?
Achha, my dear friend just told that, who leaked the videos. Again, whoever leaked the videos, he was taken care by the court. So it proves that the court is not partial, the court is impartial. The law is impartial. And who is creating, a perception on social media? My dear friend, social media is a one-man show, or a one organization show, or a one-party show, or it is show controlled by the court. If I agree by you that the court is biased, no, it is not. It is not a one-man show. It is a platform where lakhs and lakhs of people are there, uncontrolled, unregulated. They come up with their sentiments this way or that way. So how can you blame an organization or a party or a system for that?
Also, Binay ji, this is what you've been saying about selective leaks, but the petitions from both sides have also been maintaining when it comes to the detailing of the commissioner survey that has been done, make it public. For everyone to gather the information. So as far as the advocate commissioner is concerned, we have been also listening to what the court commissioner has to say on the details, what's expected today. Let's play that out for our viewers.
Look,
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जो सुनवाई हुई थी उसके परिप्रेक्ष्य में उन्होंने फाइल जो है लोअर कोर्ट की फाइल सिविल जज सीनियर डिवीजन की फाइल उसको ट्रांसफ़र करके माननीय जिला जज के यहाँ सुनवाई के लिए उन्होंने आदेश कर दिया था। तो कल माननीय जिला जज के यहाँ वादी पक्ष के अधिवक्ता और प्रतिवादी पक्ष के अधिवक्ता ने बहस किया। उसमें प्रतिवादी पक्ष जहाँ तक सुनने में आया कि प्रतिवादी पक्ष के अधिवक्ता का ये बहस था कि जो 1991 का वर्शिप एक्ट का है वो मेंटेनेबल है कि नहीं, जो वादी पक्ष द्वारा जो एप्लीकेशन दी गई है उस पर। तो कल उसी पे बहस हुई है। अब आज माननीय जिला जज का जैसा आदेश आएगा उस हिसाब से कार्रवाई आगे की चलेगी।
All right, we have some more breaking news coming in of the Hindu Veracity professor who has now spoken on Gyan Vapi. This is the Minister of Kashi Vidya Parishad and the Professor of Sanskrit Vidya and Dharm Vigyan of the Hindu University who has talked in detail about Gyan Vapi and Aurangzeb's barbarism and other temples that have been broken in Kashi. We'll first listen to what he had to say.
आरंभ काल से अनादिकाल से सनातन परंपरा की वाहिका रही है काशी। अत्यंत प्राचीन नगर रहा है काशी। काशी को कहते हैं काश्यते प्रकाश्यते यासा काशी, जो ज्ञान का पुंज है उसी का नाम काशी है। और इस काशी में मुगल आक्रांताओं ने कम से कम आप समझिए कि 4 बार भगवान विश्वेश्वर के मंदिर पर आक्रमण किया। और ये आक्रमण कुतुबुद्दीन ऐबक के आदेश से बनारस के शासन के लिए 1197 में एक अधिकारी नियुक्त किया गया कि वो बनारस में जा कर के जितने भी ऐसे प्रतिष्ठित मंदिर हैं उन मंदिरों को तोड़े। तो मुगल आक्रांताओं ने मूर्ति पूजा हटाने की कोशिश की। उसके बाद अलाउद्दीन खिलजी ने बनारस के मंदिर में तोड़े गए। 14वीं सदी में तुगल शासकों ने जौनपुर और बनारस के तमाम मस्जिदों को उन्होंने भी तोड़ा।
All right, Tausif, as far as the legal angle is concerned, because yes, we've been talking about the political aspect, but it cannot be politics of convenience that we have been seeing from our opposition leaders there mainly. But talking about the legal aspect, there is a certain exception that the Hindu side has been talking about. Why doesn't it actually come under the Places of Worship Act 1991? That will be one of the considerations that will be taken up today.
yes, and the test of whether the 1991 Act is applicable or not is very simple, which is that on the day of independence, if the building had a religious nature, and if it had a religious nature, whether it is on that particular day, if it is a temple or a church or the mosque, it will remain so after independence. It does not mean that in 2022 some fanatic people will come and demand from court that we must remove this law.
No, there are petitioners there having the right to worship, and that is what is being raised in the Supreme Court. Come on, let's give that to the Supreme Court, at least Binay ji, if you can respond to that, because the Supreme Court has clearly said when it comes to determining the religious character, let it be done. It did not put a stay on the survey.
No, the order does not say so.
According to Tasif, I also fall in the category of fanatic, being a Hindu, and I advocate what has been done in Ayodhya or what is to be done in what is being done in Kashi. That is correct. But Tasif, India is the single country on this planet which has set an example where 80% of the majority, they find a solution for their sentiment through courts, through law, not on the streets.
Okay.
And
Not
Tausif,
on the
another
street,
question to
granted
you, as
land
we have
for
seen
Hindus.
the Supreme Court also mentioning the fact that this is a sensitive issue and they are looking at the larger picture here, and that's the reason why the Supreme Court did not even stop the survey from happening, and they have now transferred it to a district magistrate.
Since it is a sensitive issue, all the more reason for court and for media and for right-thinking people not to give credence to a hearsay, because the British Museum record says that Aurangzeb granted land for mandir, and here we have some gentleman wearing a saffron cloth and saying that this ruler demolished so many temples, that ruler demolished. Was
Come on, don't be dismissive of the other opinions there, Tausif.
Yes, no,
don't be dismissive of the other opinions.
If we look at legal angle, hearsay is no evidence. Hearsay has to
But let the court decide, no.
Right away.
That is exactly, Binay ji, when it comes to the maintainability of the suit, that will be taken up. Not rightly being dismissive of any of the opinions also being made by the other side. You need to give that respect.
People, member of majority community, various Hindu scholars have outrightly rejected the claim of sibling. No. So you please give me 2 minutes.
Historians, they are mightier than God.
Hindus,
They changed the history, man.
this
claim.
How can a founding...
Binay Singh, please make your point first before we go back to Tausif.
What I'm saying, that historians were mightier than God. They changed the history. Whatever didn't happen, they also made them happen. So let these facts to be investigated by the archaeologists. We cannot go by the historians, though you say that he was mightier, he was wiser, Aurangzeb, and that also about Aurangzeb. The whole of
your history says that Haldi Ghati battle, Akbar lost.
I don't believe in the historians, the court historians, the British historians. Let's go by the archaeologists now, sir.
But Tausif, there are certain leaders and on the Muslim side as well who are now stating that the history should not be touched or revisited. Let it be as it is. But what about the sentiments on the other side?
No, we must have a standard before we even, allow something to be debated, before we even start giving credence to any claim. There are people on the TV, they come and say that Taj Mahal was not built by Shah Jahan. It was Tejo Mahal.
But you heard what the court said. But you heard what the court said. The court rubbished it exactly. The court rubbished it. Did it take up the petition? No, did it take up the petition? No, it did not. The ASI came out with those pictures also of those rooms that the petitioner wanted to be opened up. At least have faith in the court. At least have faith in the court.
No. As an educated society, as a responsible news channel, you and I have a responsibility to outrightly reject any absurd theory.
Sir, we are not talking about any absurd theory. We are keeping a balanced viewpoint. What exactly the court has been saying, and the Supreme Court did not take up the matter when it comes to the Tejo Mahal or the other kind of theories that was being floated around Taj Mahal. Let the district court, at least in its own favor, rather decide, because it's a responsibility being given by the Supreme Court.
Also going in the same direction. Gyan Vapi also has to be.
But then why is the court taking up the issue? If you feel that it is going in the same direction and it is being propagated further, Binay Singh, would you come in that?
Yeah.
So the lawyer for the Muslim side repeatedly...
The standard. What is the standard? You know what is the standard? The court is the standard. The findings of the archaeological survey is the standard.
So let is the standard.
Final aspect, let the court decide. Even when it comes to the maintainability of the suit, that will be taken up today afternoon when the court will be deciding whether and how rather to progress further with this case. After all, looking at the both sides' sentiments. Thank you very much, Tausif and Binay ji, for joining us here on the broadcast. We have to head into a short break. This is a live coverage that we are getting to you also from Varanasi, as the matter soon will be taken up.